Welcome to 23 Degrees Sideways. We're dealing with 30-mile-an-hour winds, and I haven't been able to be alone since I got back from my trip. I was 10 miles from the nearest paved road yesterday, and I tried to do a video, and I had people come up to me in the middle of nowhere because I'm interesting. I'm doing something. I have a camera. I always think it's fun that people do that. It's very annoying, but it's also fun. It's like, why? I feel like they either are trying to rob you of the fact that you're doing something, or they want to kind of like bask in the glow. Someone's doing something. I'm going to be a part of it with no effort, kind of thing. And it's fun to watch people, but yeah, it's not very productive when it comes to getting anything done if they're not part of your thing that you're doing. So, I got a comment on the video yesterday about, it's not against the rules if you don't get caught. I'm going to tell you a secret, okay? It's a secret that, whatever. It's a secret. I know of 4 speakeasies in existence, just that I know of right now. None of them are right next door to me or anything, so if anyone from the Nevada State Gaming Commission, Bar Liquor Commission, or whatever wants to know, nope. But yeah, I know of speakeasies that are actually in existence. No cell phones allowed. No social media posts, very word of mouth. Amazing, right? Just amazing. It's not against the rules if you don't get caught. Let's use Nevada as an example. Our governor has total and absolute control over every facet of our economy. Right now, especially with emergency powers that never go away, because he gets to decree anything he wants forever, because the emergency never ends. We're 6 months into what I am seriously convinced is a set of lies, and he can set any rules he wants arbitrarily based on any so-called experts or based on a dream he had. It doesn't matter. He can do whatever he wants. So I may have mentioned this before. In Nevada, they say prostitution is legal, gambling is legal, we're a free state. Well, we're not, because pot, gambling, prostitution, the big things, they're not legal, they're regulated. It's not a situation of freedom, it's a situation of intense government control, but it's just as tight when it comes to restaurants, retail establishments. There's a $200 a year fee just to have a business in the state, no matter what you do, in addition to everything else. That's a new thing in the last several years. There's an extra $200 fee, and then there's gross receipts tax. So you have to literally record all of your sales for the state, and then there's a tax on your receipts in addition to sales tax. And it's all regulated. It's all very controlled. It's all very recorded. There's a whole bunch of stuff. The government can tell you no. The government can shut you down. The state government here can just shut you off completely, instantly, at whim. So I'll give you an example. 2 people I know in the state who work in a specific industry. In this case, it's cosmetology, salon care, okay? One is a nail technician. That's mostly what she does. She does pedicures and manicures. She's got her license. She would not do any work during the initial parts of the shutdown out of her house for cash because the government had threatened that if they caught people doing that, they would take their licenses away and make it so that they could never work again. Ever. Pretty hefty threat, right? I know another one. Similar. Cosmetology. In this case, she cuts hair. And she's just like, yeah, whatever, come to my house, put money in the jar, I'm cutting your hair. But she was under the same threat. She was literally under the same threat, okay? Now, her income went down by a lot. More than 60%. I've talked to her. It went down by a lot because she wasn't advertising. She wasn't getting walk-ins. She didn't have new customers. It was just regular customers and friends and family. You know, there's a certain amount of trust there. And if our government in Nevada was as capable of personal tracking as some of the more offensive governments like Massachusetts, well, they can't do it, but they want to do it, or New York or California, she would have gotten in trouble. I mean, just being able to track the cell phone data, they would have got her. That's pretty scary all by itself. It's not illegal if you don't get caught. It's not against the rules if you don't get caught. How do you keep from getting caught? What are the consequences? What can you do? What if what you do is run a store? You have a used bookstore. The one used bookstore we managed to keep alive in this rural town in Nevada went under. Of course, you know, I'm saving that rant for a different video. The Democrats, the establishment, the powers that be, the administrative state, the media, the whatever, they have absolutely screwed any possibility of a middle-class resurgence for at least a decade. And they did it on purpose. They have hurt you very much on purpose. Different video. It's not against the rules if you don't get caught. Consequences matter, though. Like, it's one thing to say that speeding isn't against the rules if you don't get caught. And then if you do get caught, you pay a $100 ticket and, well, whatever, right? $180 ticket after all the fees and extras they put on if you want to pay it conveniently instead of going to their office hours, half hour every third Thursday to drop off a check. Whatever. You get the ticket. But what if you're a bookstore? What if it's not against the rules if you don't get caught? How does that work? What if that's not possible? If you open the doors, you're caught. You're in a physical location where you can't avoid notice. People in your parking lot, guess what? You're going to get a visit from the county or the state. Or the nosy neighbor. What if you're a butcher shop? Are you essential? Some of them actually weren't. Casinos. You say, oh, well, casinos don't matter. I've talked about many times about homeless populations and all that. But what about if you actually work there? What if that's your income? What if you rely on that money to stay alive? You know, it's not essential. Entertainment is not essential. Movie theaters are not essential. Have you seen the suicide numbers for your not essential? It's not against the rules if you don't get caught. So says my friend in the comment. And he's right. You know, there are things that you can do, okay? You can have barbecues, and you just happen to be a person who has a restaurant and a catering business, and you're just having barbecues for friends. They just have to pitch in, you know? There you go. There's ways to work around it, but they're very limited. And how far do you take that? Like, can you build an economy on that? Are we coming to a situation where we have to build an economy based on don't get caught. I don't know. I'm kind of excited by the concept. Honestly, truthfully, more cash only, no record keeping businesses sounds like a really good thing to me, because the government's not helping. And right now, the government's really not helping. I'm an imperialist. And right now, the worst thing going it's the government. Worst thing going is the government. It's not against the rules if you don't get caught. So your goal is to be creative in ways of not getting caught. Yeah. Some state governments have a complete chokehold on your ability to make money, to have a job, to earn a living. That's not a good thing. That's never going to be a good idea. Stay sideways and don't get caught.